And I am live once again, my fellow YouTubers slash gamers slash everybody that's in here, man. What's up? It's your boy Type R87, aka Carlos Fernandez. And I'm doing what you call a little late night stream once again, just to get some things out the way and some things that have been on my mind for the past couple of days with this whole crossplay fiasco, Microsoft turning into Mattel slash Toys R Us, and the self-induced fanboy logic. So let's get to it. As we all know, for the past couple of days, Twitter has been the safe haven for damage control from all sides of gaming, whether it be Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft. But you have certain people that have been damage controlling the whole crossplay fiasco, and I'm going to put that to a certain degree in a different perspective from what everybody's viewing this as. Let's start off by talking about last gen, the Xbox 360, PS3 crossplay idea. It is to my knowledge that Sony had offered an opportune chance for Microsoft to do crossplay with Sony. And admittedly, at the time, Microsoft was the leader of the pack in terms of sales and content, and they reluctantly negated the offer. Now, fast forward to 2018, Sony has the lead, and Microsoft is at the other end of the bargain. Now you have a tit for tat situation. And I know that it might sound a little bit far-fetched from reality and from what these other gamers are talking about, especially from the Microsoft side. But let me put it this way. If I am a multi-console owner and I own an account for that specific console, then that's where the console's information is going to stay at, regardless of what you might think that they're trying to do. But there's a certain, how shall we say it, a certain value for those actual gaming content and actual information to be bought by another company. See, this is the thing that most people don't tell you, but I'm going to tell it to you straight up and first. In order for crossplay to happen between Microsoft and Sony, one has to offer a set amount, meaning a set amount of, monetary value for those gamer tags or gamer progressions to be used in their platform. And since Microsoft in last gen did not agree to the terms, Sony's returning the favor. I know it sucks for a lot of players. I know it sucks for a lot of people who feel that they're being kept out from their game progression, but this is a competitive atmosphere that we're in right now. And I know I might sound wrong for saying it, but it is competition. The simple fact that you have Microsoft and Nintendo teaming up and throwing their little jabs tells you exactly where the competition is at. They're afraid to lose in some point of a way their fan base. And that's where the logic is at for most Microsoft users and Nintendo users. There's that point. You guys want to sit here and throw your concerns at other fanboys over a simple thing as crossplay, when in the bigger picture and behind the scenes, all these companies, all are they what they're doing is just being competitive, trying to captivate the user in order to flock to their company. It's just the basis of business practices. And you can sit here and try to say, oh, it's anti-consumerism and all this other mumbo jumbo that be spewing out from all these fanboys. It's simple business tactics. It is what it is. You guys might get mad. You guys might feel that you're being offended by Sony's way of viewing things. And it's just the way it is, man. Like you cannot complain to another fanboy about your concerns if you don't take it to the source. And that's taking it to Sony and making sure Sony hears you out. Make a complaint to Sony. Let them know that you're not satisfied with your account being held in their system with your progressional data. That's just how it's supposed to be. The more you talk about it with the source, the more you'll get your way in some sort of form of way. Sorry about that. But that's just the whole basis of this whole situation with people talking about crossplay like if it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. You can still play Fortnite on all platforms. Whether without data progression or not, you can still play Fortnite on that console or on PC or on the PS4 or whichever system that you're using. There's nothing different about it. Sure, that you lose your data because you can't transfer it from one console to the other or to the other system. Hey, these companies are out here to do what they do best and be competitive with one another. That's just the basis of competition. But a lot of people have actually lost the perspective of what competition is, and they're actually being crybabies over the fact that Sony is doing what they're doing best in their interest, just the same way as Microsoft and Nintendo are doing the same for their interest in this whole console debacle. That's just it. But you guys want to just like berate it as something that is not even substantially gainful for gaming itself. You're crying over a minuscule anomaly per se. If you really want to stick it to them, you do it the proper way. How? By not supporting the platform. How? By voicing your opinion to the proper people. Don't try to talk to Crap. Don't try to talk to Mooch. Don't try to talk to Colt. Don't try to talk to Ash and Luca. Don't try to talk to Ryan the Professional. Don't try to talk to none of the YouTubers on YouTube, on Twitter, with your concerns regarding crossplay. Because you know what? They don't have that same amount of power to voice their opinion like us. They really don't. They just view whatever is going on within the gaming community and put their own opinions and based analogies on that situation. They're not there to tell you how to make a choice. The only choice is up to you as the consumer to voice that opinion. And that's where the whole scenario with this whole crossplay crap has to come to an end. You want things to change? You voice out your opinion. You voice out your concerns. And you voice it out to the source. That being Epic Games, that being Sony, that being Nintendo, and that being Microsoft. Those are the people you should solely take your concerns to and make sure that they listen to everything as you, as the consumer, have to say. All this fanboy crap is just it doesn't really make no sense. It makes things worse. In reality, you guys are here on Twitter spewing your guts out for a lost cause and spewing it out to people that are just gamers just like you. That's the sad reality. You guys are here thinking that crap dealer, MGB, whatever YouTuber that you see on YouTube that actually talks about gaming can actually make a difference. And in reality, they're just a number just like you and me. They're another consumer just like you and me. It shouldn't be no different. The only difference is if you work as a whole and communicate this outburst to the proper companies. But people don't see it that way. They rather just whine, cry, mope, name call, troll, and make fun of everything that is pertainable to the other person's preference. That's something that's nothing new on Twitter and on social media. You have a lot of these fools just try to narrate their opinions as an actual fact, when in reality, it is not. Your opinions are only worth as much as they go for to the next person. And if the person does not really care about your opinions, then guess what? There's nothing you can do about that. There's really nothing that you can do. As far as for crossplay, the only thing that we can do is voice out our opinions and tell these companies exactly how we feel about the whole crossplay situation. I really don't care too much about it, because either way, I can still play my Fortnite account on my PS4. I can start a new one on my PC. I can start a new one on my Xbox. And if I have a Switch, I can do the same. I have no problem starting over, because you don't know whether you're going to get something different from creating that new account, or a new experience, or gain new friends as you go along when you play. Because that's the whole aspect of the multiplayer social experiment, to experiment with other people, to venture out with other people. But you guys are so caught up in my friend is on Fortnite, I have to play specifically with my friend. So what? Make new friends, talk to new people, see a different perspective of the game, instead of just being so attached to that one specific situation. That's the sad reality of this whole multiplayer game aspect. In order for you to gain something out of it, you have to, just change from it. Look at it at a different perspective and use that. Oh man, I can't tell you guys how much this whole Twitter rant about crossplay and anti-consumerism and all this other bullshit that these guys are spewing on here is just like, it's ridiculous. Is it straight up BS, man? Like, what else do you want us to think? What else do you want other fans to think about gaming? If you're just basing these feelings and these emotions in your tweets and taking it out on other people that are just feeling the same way just as you are. But there are other people that see a different perspective of the situation and they adapt to it. What's wrong with being adaptable to a situation? There's nothing wrong with that. But yet, you guys feel that when somebody states a statement in a different way than what you're feeling, oh, he's just a fanboy. Maybe he doesn't care much for crossplay and he just rather play his single player based experiences. That could just be one of the things that most people actually do. They play their single player games and don't worry about the multi-social aspect of gaming. But it never crosses your mind because you're so caught up in the moment. You're so caught up in the moment of just, oh, I have to play with my friends. My friends are on this platform. And if I can't carry my account to this platform, then it sucks. Why don't you just try to make new friends on that new account and see what other people think about the game? Because that's the whole purpose of being a sociable person, a sociable player. It's nothing. There's nothing against you moving on and doing things differently and looking at a different perspective than everybody else. But some people rather stay with that same old story, same old song, and same old issue narrative that they don't see beyond the field. They only just see the fence. And quite frankly, I really get two shits about crossplay. I could care less about it. I have multiple accounts, and those accounts I can go in them anytime and play them as many times as I want without having to worry about going to another platform, because you know what? That is the reasons why you're supposed to use different emails for that specific account. So this way you don't have to worry about progressional data. Why? Because those are that different account and email will actually have that data that you're using currently for that specific game on that specific platform. But yet again, you guys don't see the bigger picture. You're just stuck on that one thing, anti-consumerism. So if you want to base it on anti-consumerism, what do you think Microsoft and Nintendo are going to do with you guys with this new whole setup that they're doing with their crossplay? Do you actually think that they're going to actually leave the service for free for Nintendo? Or are they going to hit you with the, you know what? Since you're using Xbox Live, we're going to charge you for Xbox Live and the Nintendo Switch service. Then you're going to have to pay the 60 plus the 20. That's $80 right there for internet service to play a battle royale free-to-play game. Wow, it is just mind-blowing how you guys cannot actually see exactly what Microsoft and Nintendo are trying to pull off. But yet you want to go to Sony and state that Sony's anti-consumerism, when in reality, Microsoft and Nintendo are going to do worse. I kid you not. I kid you not. I just see this as just them trying to peddle in everybody into the platform and making it seem as they're being the good guys. There's a thing that I've noticed a lot. A lot of people will smile in your face, but will actually put the knife behind your back. And these companies will do the same to you. They'll smile at you. They'll sell you everything in the world so that you can give up your hard-earned money and support their practices. But it's funny how most of these fanboys don't see beyond that. They're just grasping on just that one thing. Sony's anti-consumerism. Sony's doing this wrong. Sony's doing that wrong. Why can I not play on my Fortnite account? Why is it that that is locked behind Sony's wall? Listen to yourself and listen to exactly what you're trying to state. You mean to tell me that you don't have a secondary email account that you cannot start over because your friends are still on that account? Make some new friends, man. It's as simple as that. And then maybe later on, you can tell those friends, hey, join me on the Xbox, or join me on the Switch, or join me on the PS4, or join me on PC. Create a new account so that we can start a whole new group so that we can actually play better with each other. But you people are so caught up in the moment that you don't realize that. You don't view it as that perspective. You just view it as, oh, they're locking me away from my data. Wow. They're locking you away from your data, which you can create a new one with a new email account and start again and earn better prizes or better items that are in the game that you haven't even earned in the other account. But you don't see it that way. You see it as it's anti-consumer. The only thing that's anti-consumer is the logic behind you and what you think. You know why? Because you're spreading that same negativity to everybody else that's trying to enjoy their platform, that's trying to enjoy to play Fortnite on the PS4. Just because you feel a certain type of way. Then guess what? If you feel a certain type of way, don't express it on Twitter. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. And if you have that same concern, voice that opinion to Sony or Epic Games, Microsoft, or whoever it is. But you voicing your concern to another person who's actually trying to enjoy their experiences, it's not helping the situation at all. You're being the anti-consumer and being the anti-gamer per se. You're being an anti-gamer because you're stopping that gamer from enjoying whatever he needs to enjoy on that platform. And it's pretty pathetic that you have a bunch of grown-ass men on Twitter acting like a bunch of sourpuss babies over crossplay. Going on YouTube podcasts talking about crossplay. And I'm going to phrase it just like my boy OBJ the Don says it. That shit is thrash. You know why it's thrash? Because when you think like a garbage head, you only have garbage head thoughts. There, I said it. When you think like a garbage-headed person, you cannot think straight and clear. You have so much things cluttered up in your head that you don't see the bigger perspective of the situation. So what? Back in the days, in Sony's second gen and Microsoft's first gen, we didn't have crossplay. We didn't need crossplay. You know why? Because we went to each other's houses to play with each other's consoles. Same goes when I was growing up playing Nintendo and Sega. My cousin had a Sega Genesis. I would go to their house and play on the Sega Genesis. So what? There wasn't crossplay then, but it was a form of crossplay because I went and played at my family member's house or my friend's house and share the same experiences with that and enjoyed it. But you see, you guys are so caught up in the social aspect of gaming that you don't understand the logic to being a gamer. You don't understand the logic to enjoying a game for what it's worth. And that's where the sad reality and the state of gaming is at right now. You have a bunch of naysayers and a bunch of wannabe game reviewers and a bunch of wannabe Eurogamers, a bunch of wannabe everything. But you forgot the fundamentalism of being a gamer. And that's where the problem is at. So what if you can't play Fortnite on the PS4 via PC? Just enjoy the goddamn game, man. And stop moping about it. Play with new friends. That's the whole social aspect of being in multiplayer-based games. You meet new people. You learn learn things from people that you meet online. And then when you want to go back to your old system and play on your old account, you turn that system on and talk to your friends. Hey, listen, I found some new players over here on this side of the Xbox and Switch on the PC. Hey, try to create an account so that we can, team up and we'll set up a nice little crew and we'll start something new. But you guys always miss that point, man. You always miss that point. It's just the same concept of you going to somebody else's house, but you're doing it through the internet. You're sitting yourself in your seat at the leisure of your comfortability to play over online and meet new people. It's just the same experience. The only thing is, it's not in a physical aspect. But I'm just being anti. I'm just being the anti-consumer that I am because I am supporting something other than just bullshit, right? I'm sorry to say it, man, but it is what it is. And you guys have to really, really, really get yourself out of that little cocoon and broaden your mind and broaden your horizons and stop being such petty fanboys, man. Stop being petty fanboys. And another topic I wanted to touch was the state of decay 2 winning May's MPD and every Xbot going happy crazy, stir crazy, and just trying to throw mud at every Sony fan. For what? You have won an NPD. Congratulations. You guys got a W finally in how many years? My point exactly. In how many years? But you want to base this as a victory when in reality, this is not a victory. This is actually business. God of War 3, and I'm sorry, let me rephrase that again. God of War for the PS4 sold almost close to 3 million copies in 3 days. It took whatever amount of time for State of Decay to actually reach an MPD established sale. 1 whole month. 1 whole month. And the funny part about that 1 whole month is that there's no numbers to verify exactly how much or how many copies of State of Decay were actually sold. Because once again, you guys want to move the goalpost and try to state that they don't include Game Pass and PC sales, when in reality, they really do. The only reasons why they don't show it to you is because it didn't sell well on the Xbox One X platform. On the Xbox platform, it sold well on the PC platform via Game Pass. Let that sink in. Since you guys want to be parading and then start making statements and bold assumptions that, yeah, we beat God of War. You haven't beaten God of War in terms of sales. You might have beaten them in terms of sales in 1 month, but God of War already has made its impact. God of War already has sold what it needed to sell in order to gain a fan base. Just the same way as State of Decay will do also in the upcoming months. But only time can tell how long without that will last with State of Decay. But yet again, MPDs now matter because an Xbox title took it for that month. Whatever happened to the Nintendo, whatever happened to Sony, whatever happened to PC, whatever happened to other platforms that are actually doing good in the MPDs, why don't you guys report those MPDs as well? Why? Why only just bask and glorify one title on your preferred platform? Because at the end of the day, you are a gamer, right? At the end of the day, as a YouTuber, the conception of actually stating based information is actually good. instead of just lying through your teeth and being the little giggly, happy little fanboy that you are. Doesn't make no sense. Like I said, man, I always keep it real with my gamers. I always keep it factual, and I always state the correct information. And that's where the basis is at. Stating the correct information and making sure that you have the actual facts to back it up. Don't just say that, oh, it's not based on Game Pass. It's not based on PC sales. It is based on Game Pass and PC sales, because you know why? Microsoft doesn't want to show you the actual Xbox sales. Why? It's just the same old story, same old song narrative, just like Cuphead. You see, because the actual fan base of Microsoft's Xbox division, as we know them as Xbots, they only like to come out of the woodwork once in a while, but that they actually support the hard work and dedication from the developers, that's another different story. As we all know that when Cuphead came out, most of Cuphead sales were on, you guessed it, on Steam and the Microsoft Windows Store, which are both PC-based apps, right? Which are all connected to that platform, which is PC. See, but you guys are so caught up in the hype that you don't see through the smoking mirrors. You don't see through the curtains. Why? Because you let the fanboy logic hit you in the head. You always let the fanboy logic take the better of you and do not use actual sound calmness to actually make a bold statement and to actually know what the fuck you're talking about. And I could tell you pretty much with common sense, with the common sense that I'm using as a consumer, all that MPD shit is all smoke and mirrors. It's just to keep on the console war going. Why? Because they need it. They need the console war to keep on going because it'll create a buzz for the game. It'll create something for people to want to play the game. And I could tell you this much. State of Decay 2 is a hot mess on whether you play it on Xbox or on the PC. It is a poorly optimized game. And even after the latest patch, it still ran like dog shit. It still runs like dog shit. But nonetheless, the social aspect of the game, it's what's making it sell well. That's the only aspect of the game that's actually positive. But as far as performance-wise, as far as visuals-wise, as far as the game itself, it's a mediocre game. And just like Sea of Thieves, eventually it'll die down. Eventually, people will not even remember it. Or will forget it, per se. Anyways, it's getting a little late. But I just wanted to just throw some things out there, man. Let my gamers, my real gamers, the ones that actually game and support the games, just to let them know, man, you guys are not alone. Let these fanboys know exactly what they need to do. They could turn it up sideways, do a 3/4, and shove it up straight up their candy asses. Anyways, man, it's your boy Type R87, aka Carlos Fernandez, gamer by choice, not by trend. This has been my You Call It Damage Control, I Call It BS. Tick for tat. Y'all have a good, blessed night, and I'll check you out on the gaming side. Deuces.